either buy your entrance fees to the national park at...
There's 30,000 for one.
You can either buy them at the airport or you can buy it here at this ticket office. And when 300 people arrive at one time, waiting in line to buy these tickets, it's just as easy to buy it here. Taro plant, which I would call an elephant ears plant. Our first site on Easter Island, and all the tour operators go exactly the same way and in the same direction, because the entire island is practically an archaeological site.
6 million and 3 million years ago.
And you said that's fresh water.
This is fresh water, has 100 meters deep. This fresh water has filtrations into underground caves from where we take the water supply for the town. What you see there floating, it is Totora Reed, which is the same reed that you see in the Lake Titicaca.
Oh, yes.
People living on it.
That they make boats out of.
Yeah. It takes about 40 minutes going inside of the volcano, and it takes a week if you want to walk around.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there an actual trail?
There is no trail down there.
Is there an actual trail around the volcano? No, none at all.
I mean, you can walk on the top.
Right, along the ridge.
Go around, yeah. Inside there's about 24 caves, half of them used for living, the other half for just hiding stuff. Volcano, it's all introduced during the 1860s by Sebastian Englert, and the only things that we have here and in other places on the island, it's only medicinal plants, sweet potatoes, taro, bananas, and sugarcane. Those are the only native things that are from the island, brought here by Polynesian people, probably during the 400 BC or before. Migration of Polynesians were during the 7,000 years ago, all around the Polynesian islands,
including Hawaii. Hugo said it is the longest airstrip in South America, built by the Americans during the 1940s.
And 70s.
And 70s.
For the NASA, for the space shuttle.
Leads right from where we bought our tickets this morning, so you can just walk up to this point, to Ranu.
Today they are back, but in small groups. There used to come thousands of these to the island before the 1400s. 2,000 years ago, these birds were migrating. And 2,000, 4,000, 7,000 years ago, they were still migrating until the 1800s. In the 1800s, Sebastian Engler introduced hawks to the island. And the problem was that the hawks were introduced for rats, to exterminate the population of rats, but at the same time attack their egg, which means these birds were next year, they never came back. So they stopped coming for almost 200 years.
It's always a way.
And now they're back, but in small groups. We still have all the other kinds of birds, frigate birds, but this one we need to exterminate now the hawks to be able to let them come back.
They would breed.
Right?
On Motu Iti or
Motu Nui, on
both islands there.
There's 53 rooms for 53 royalty families. They were the only ones allowed to be inside of this village. Right? And each room has capacity for from 5 to 10, 15 people, some of them. The houses are built out of slate rocks that they come from inside of the same volcano on the side, at the end, from inside. We don't know how long it took to build them, probably a year to just build them. And when do they build it? Probably before the 1400s, or maybe after. We can see that's kind of like the original one, size. Why the other ones are smaller? Because in the 60s, he had to reduce the entrance to prevent people from going in. People were trying to go in, and in one of them, some accidents happened.
Oh, sure.
So,
yes, they are splitting. Well, got a road after hundreds of years.
Other Polynesian islands, and people living in those other islands had the same entrance inside of the same houses.
Polynesians were warriors. You had to have another way of looking out or escaping in case your enemy came.
The statue you see here, this one here, it's broken in half. He was transport half from the quarry where they made these statues. That's the rock that they used to make these statues, which is very hard to work on, but very delicate once you have it finished. We know today, people from here, how we made these statues and how long it took to make these statues, and transportation. We know they moved them finished before move. Which what am I trying to say by finish? With details in everything. Finish. Nose, ears, mouth, chin, shoulders, tattoos were already finished on the statue before it was moved. This one here, they move it 24 kilometers from the quarry to here, and it has probably 20 to 40 and 50 tons. It's the one of the statues moved the longest distance from the quarry that were used to make these statues to this platform here. Were dragged from other places inland because in this place we only have red soil, which is why half of the platform has red soil. But the cuts even on the red rocks, because the red rocks are more easier to carve, more delicate, they were still very precisely made.
Yes, we're looking north right there.
That's north, and as soon as we get near the platform will push the compass out south, 90 degrees. Right there. Now it's pointing south instead of north.
What makes a stone magnetic?
Get it back near, and then look at what happens.
Yeah.
So in between there's magnetic fields on the rock. Now, scientific says that the reason why it has magnetic, it's because the pressure the each rock has on top of each other creates energy, magnetic energy. Or all these rocks had iron
Or
inside.
iron in it. You can see the rope marks straight across there, horizontally, from how they dragged these humongous stones.
This platform, it's the one that Thor Heyerdahl thought that they were made by Peruvians, because the rocks had similar constructions to the Cusco wall in Peru, which it was called the Sacsayhuaman wall. Remember, the statues were replaced every 100 years.
But the platform itself is
already there.
1,800 years old. I can sort of tell that one was a statue because you can see the eyes. But they were all pushed face down by the warring tribe.